1, 2, 3.
Record.
Record. The record. I am recording.
And away we go.
Welcome back to B&B Banter Bros Goes to the Movies. I am Timothy Bennett, your host for tonight, and with me is Jason Chandler.
Hey.
And Aram is running a little late.
He's
so
on
he
his
might
way.
Join us. Yep, he'll be joining in or popping in whenever he can. So he's got to put the kid together. Put the kid together. It's like a
Put him back together so we can
It's a Build-A-Bear,
tuck him in.
you know? Stuffing and then tuck him in, put him in the closet.
Yeah,
he's got
a weird thing.
He's got to put the kid to bed and then help you in.
Yeah.
So, and that can always take a little bit.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows who has kids. So tonight is episode 2. Oh, there he is.
Building.
Look at that. All right. Well, we'll get rolling. We'll get rolling.
In the nick of time.
Just in time. I'm sure he's not used to hearing that though.
Well, he's definitely not on time. But
No.
Aram's in the motherfucking house.
Yeah. Aaron, we have started, so go ahead and hit
only
record
got,
and get going. We just started, so.
Just the intro.
Yep. Yep. In the nick of time. So, Aaron, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Kid went down good?
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually.
I
Mine's
said that,
still
now
up,
he's yelling
so.
for me, so hold on a second. I received
Oh,
yours.
okay. Well, we're going to
All
continue.
right. You'll catch up.
All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about episode 2 of season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. And we had a good conversation for the first episode. It was good.
Ooh, very exciting.
Yeah, it was
Love
really...
the show's back.
Yes, absolutely. We did have a little Amy Schumer hate, and I'm sure we're going to hate a little bit
And
more on
that's-
this one.
And all we can hope is that she dies in this season.
Oh,
Because,
Or-
this
I-
episode had an Amy return, and it had
Yep.
set up dialogue for future episodes. And
yep.
But the self-deprecating, like the way she was making fun of herself, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
We'll wait to see what Aram has to say as well. But
But yeah, the title
So-
of this episode is called Framed.
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 Yep. Framed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like this episode really, like the title was spot on. I didn't feel like, I felt like it was, I felt like it was
a little lazy.
yeah, I felt like
for-
it
for
should have
their
been something
cleverness.
else than framed. Because there's so much more going on
Well, it's
that,
Steve Martin's father, maybe. Maybe he's framed, and then you got the three of them. That's
Well,
about it.
Steve Martin's father technically is framed because he's in the painting.
Nice.
right.
That's what you call a
Oh.
zinger. Coming in zinging.
Zing. All right, well, I'm gonna name. Or I'm gonna name. We already talked about the name.
There you go.
I'm gonna.
I'm going to name this episode.
Yes, I probably will when we start talking about it, like I did last one. Should have been called Recall.
Name it decent. Bubbles decent.
I'm gonna get off the details real quick for this one.
All right.
The
Do it.
synopsis. So the trio question their neighbors at a memorial for Bunny as they attempt to get rid of evidence that could further implicate them.
Yeah.
A relative of Bunny shows up and proves to be more of a force than she was. And boy, was she interesting.
Yeah.
That character
Did you see who played her?
delightful. No, I didn't catch who it was.
I couldn't
she
figure
looked,
it out.
She
I
looked
didn't look it
familiar,
up.
but I couldn't
Shirley
figure it out.
MacLaine.
Oh,
She's
okay.
old as fuck, but it's
Yeah.
Shirley MacLaine.
She was so familiar.
Yeah, it's Shirley MacLaine from like Steel Magnolias and fucking She did a movie with fucking Jack Nicholson. I can't remember it now.
Yeah.
But Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah.
Look her up. She's been in tons of shit.
Yeah, I couldn't, like just Jason said, I couldn't put my tongue on it. I was like, who the fuck is that? I know it. I'd voice everything. I just
on her
knew.
in a while, but
Yep, I knew who she was.
yeah,
but-
she's super old.
She has
so
a lot of experience.
I kept looking at her face like, I fucking know who that is. I know it. And the second
Yeah.
I read the name, I was like, okay, I see it now.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen her in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like
Like I
rumors
said,
have
she's
it,
pretty
Bewitched.
prevalent. Like I say,
Yeah,
Steel Magnolias was a big one. I know she did with Sally Field and Julia Roberts. And
Valentine's Day. Yep, Bernie. Yeah,
She
I've
seemed well versed in this.
Oh, The Secret Life of Walter
acting.
Mitty.
oh,
yeah.
she was in that?
Yep. I've seen her in a lot of shit. But all right. First of all, this episode, I will admit, I was thoroughly entranced. There's something about this episode that I really, really liked and resonated with.
There were points where like I had to like take my attention elsewhere for a second, and like all of a sudden I was back. I was like, wait, what did I miss? And I had to rewind
Yeah.
it a few times.
Yeah,
'cause I was like,
so did
I. was
I.
like, I wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah.
It
There was
wasn't
something-
joke after joke. It was more
No.
story.
No, this was
set
a
up.
more serious one.
It was a
It's very
setup for
captivating.
what's coming. It was set up for season 2 story because
Yeah.
episode 1 they answered their cliffhangers. They made all the jokes. They got everybody comfortable, and now we're getting into the,
Okay.
the,
I wanna
the thick of
give-
it.
I'm gonna give a hot take right now. Didn't mind Amy Schumer in this one.
Because of the self-deprecation, right?
No.
Don't you touch my dumpster art.
No, it's
No.
it's not even about that.
Why?
It was how the rest of them played off of her.
Yeah.
She served her purpose fine in this one. She
Like,
wasn't as forced.
She was a pawn.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Martin and Martin Short were able to act off of her much easier, it seemed, than in the first episode.
Well, yeah, it had more
Yeah.
characters instead of
And,
just.
and there were parts that I actually laughed at that
That-
she did because of like the
chest hair?
the bassoon scene
Yep.
when she plays that and Martin Short just like gasps. Like I didn't even realize the painting was behind it. I thought he was reacting to her playing, and I laughed out
Yeah.
loud at it.
So it
Yeah.
wasn't her, it was his
It
reaction.
wasn't her, but
Well, yeah.
she was fine in this one. She didn't annoy me as much as she usually does.
Because she,
She
was
didn't-
just
she
being
didn't Amy-
annoying. She
She
was being
didn't
gross.
Amy Schumer her way into the world.
But that chest hair joke as well. She was like, "Oh, Sal, you didn't like it."
I didn't care.
Martin
bit
Short,
where-
when he was just like, "Yeah, she did."
I honestly could have done without the whole her hitting on Steve Martin.
Yeah.
That part I did not care for. Like after that, when she's talking to Martin Short and he's like, "Oh, you're not actually a crazy person. Like
But
you were
the
just
mi-
doing a bit." Like that part
Yeah.
I laughed at.
Yeah.
But her, like,
Exactly,
and it was
the
Steve
ending.
Martin. It was Steve Martin's reaction. He was like, "Hello."
Okay.
He just
Thank
like he
you.
was very off put. Like those were
Yeah.
good parts, and like she
Yeah.
did fine.
Yeah, she did her job.
She honestly, you could have put anyone else in there, and it would have been the
Yeah.
same thing probably. But like she did fine, and I
They
didn't
used-
have to really lean on her for being the foil of that part.
They used Amy right.
Yeah,
As
which
a
is they
character,
just
as a
like
pawn.
exactly they put her in
I
there
don't know.
because she happened to say yes.
Yeah.
I wish they used her from the first episode like a used tissue. Throw it
Right.
away.
Oh, they're going to. She's gonna die this season.
I hope she goes away.
She'll be the murdered one.
I
Yep.
can't 100% agree with either of you about this. Once she came up on the screen again, I was like, ah. I hated
so
it
was I.
so
Once
much.
you hate somebody, you never.
But-
There's no give or take there with you, Tim.
It is true, and it's hard because I'm a
Yeah.
very empathetic person. I'm very understanding, and I get things very well, but I just can't get behind her. There are
it's
just
'cause
some
she's a
people out
dumpster
there
fire
that I'm
of a
just like,
person.
yeah, I just nope. Oh, she's definitely a dumpster of some sort.
She played herself in this episode. It was
and
nice
that's the
to
worst
see.
thing ever. She
and
needs to be
her-
something different. She needs
and
to be
her
somebody else,
wardrobe-
anybody else but
Her
herself.
wardrobe choice, like
Oh my God.
again, I don't know what they're going for with the way they're dressing her. Like I say, all I can see is Diane Keaton in that Woody Allen movie, and which obviously I haven't watched because I don't know the fucking title.
Well,
but like
yeah.
I've seen pictures of it. Like that's all I can see. But like
It's like a wedding. You
doesn't pull it
can't
off.
dress better than the bride. So they're like, oh, we can't have you looking better than Selena. And Selena's already wearing the most ridiculous wardrobe ever. So we
She
got to
is
fucking do
legit-
worse than that.
Amy Schumer's legit so puffy, she looks uncomfortable in those
Yeah,
clothes.
she's kind of greasy too.
That's just her face.
Yeah. She looks like she's sweating all the time.
Yeah,
That's also
yeah.
just her face.
Yeah, probably. Pregnancy didn't help.
But yeah, I am
That's
with
what
you,
happens
Aaron.
when you're a pig.
I did not mind Amy Schumer in this episode.
So-
I hated her less. I did not like her, but I hated her less in this one than I did the first one.
Yeah,
I was
And-
cringing the entire time she was on screen. I really was. But I suffered
Yeah,
through it
that's what they
with
wanted.
a sense of, I don't know, optimism that she'd quickly go away. And
The
it
dialogue
didn't
set
go
up for
away
future
soon enough.
episodes with
But
her.
yeah, if it wasn't for the scenario, if it wasn't for the situation
Yeah.
and how, like you said, Aaron, that it played out fine. The
Yeah.
way her character
They
was,
could
the
have
way the
used anyone
situation-
else, but
yeah,
I mean,
I
the
would have
fact that
loved
they
it if
used
it was
her
anybody
and did
else.
in that scene because of the fact that Steve Martin and Martin Short were able to handle her so
Yeah.
well. I
Yep.
did not mind her. I was able to kind of ignore the fact that it was Amy Schumer.
You
Is
know who
really
I
what I
really
got to
wish
do.
it was? I really
Uh,
wish it was Betty White.
Or
Yeah, I mean that would have been
That's,
funny.
uh,
Or
a Kristen.
say- Eliza,
Shaw?
Kristen
Kristen
Shaw, Kristen Wiig would have been good in that one.
holy shit, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I say, Eliza Schlesinger or Taylor Tomlinson, who are big like female stand-ups right
Ooh,
now.
anybody.
Either of those two would have been good.
Dude, this is
Anybody.
what makes me think. Hulu Network Studios were like, hey, we got to, she just made a show for us. You got to use this person. Like, they didn't have Martin, the Reddish
Right,
didn't
it's
have
cross-
full
it's
say.
cross-promotion
It
almost,
just
yeah.
feels that way. I have no proof. I'm just a guy
It wouldn't
over here.
surprise me. Like that
fans
Let's
makes
move
sense.
on from the Amy Schumer hate.
This, yeah.
We're gonna get every episode is gonna have like 20 minutes of us bitching about
Amy Schumer hate. That could be a
and
whole
Jason
different
trying to like
podcast.
defend her
Right?
somehow.
Amy Schumer hate. By the way, she did not really sue Judd Apatow. That was just.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the
Oh no,
show.
you looked that up? Ah, word.
I didn't even look it up. It got popped up somewhere. Like it literally
because you
popped
said
up
it out loud
somewhere.
around your phone.
Yep, that's
your
the way I
phone
look
was
at
like,
it.
oh, hey.
Yeah,
it felt
it
like-
popped up
That's
on the
funny. Your
internet,
phone was
and I'm
like-
like, huh,
The tone of your voice sounded like you really wanted this answer, so here you go.
right?
Thank
It
you,
must.
Mark Zuckerberg.
It must. But
Right?
uh, other than that, moving on.
All right,
from Amy
let's get to
Schumer.
the
Okay.
episode.
So let's talk about the story. Story
yeah, this
played
is,
out. How?
It's
What,
setting up fresh conflict.
what did we get from the last episode? The ending of the last episode.
Well,
Like the
they
very
discover
end, the very tail.
They discover the painting in Charles's apartment, and at first, Oliver and Mabel believe that Charles is the subject of the painting, and he goes, "No, it's my father."
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So that's
then-
how they
so
left it. The painting in Charles's house and our apartment, and
It's something much, much worse. It's
Yeah.
my father.
hold on, buddy. But then this one, they pick up pretty much right away. They picked up where they left off. For the
Well,
most.
the real intro to this is like an old, like it's an old reel,
Yeah.
basically giving a history.
Yeah, they explain the
of Bunny.
architecture.
You get
or
the
the architect.
backstory.
Yep. They
You
get the
get the
backstory.
ele-
You
uh,
get
Arcadium.
You get the secret elevator
Arconia.
answer.
Yeah, whatever it is.
the Arconia.
Or-
Yeah.
yeah.
Arconia.
Yeah, not the Arcadia. I think that's
Or
something else.
arachnophobia. So you also get an answer for the secret elevator. You get that.
Yep,
You
the
know the
secret
history of the
elevator.
building. Yeah.
You
He's a
get Bunny
creep.
Folger's kind of quick, history.
Her father
And
was
then
the
you
arch-
see,
yeah.
yeah, and then you see Charles as a young boy walking with his dad, who's rehearsing lines to a play.
Yep.
Play.
That play
use
never
finger
existed.
Yep.
quotations.
I was gonna. Yep. He was
Now
just
he's
sleeping
gonna
around
go
that
play.
whore.
Oh, the audio went weird
What?
there for a second on my end. I don't know what happened.
Oh.
No, Tim just said the word whore.
Oh,
Yep.
So it got dirty on you.
I didn't
He
know
was
my
being
computer
a
was going
whore.
to censor itself.
A
Hey.
man whore.
Computers and technology's been listening to Tim lately.
Well,
I don't know what's going
and
on.
what's surprising is you never know.
Reacting.
You don't know at the beginning that that's what his dad is doing. But even
Yeah,
Charles
right.
says, well,
Yeah.
was he a model? Was he a gigolo? And
Yeah.
so you get kind of an odd foreshadowing of what's
He
actually been
doesn't have
going
the
on.
epiphany.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and during that there's a joke. Why doesn't you something about hang out with your mom? And he's like, your mom is a dream killer, son.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's because Charles says like, why don't you want mom knowing what we're doing? Like, why doesn't
Yeah,
she want
yeah.
you to be an actor? Your mom's a dream killer, son.
Yep.
Stifling bitch.
I did like that small little conversation, like them walking on the street and him reading.
Yeah.
I like that, but I did also feel like he's a terrible father.
Oh God, yes.
Like I instantly
yeah.
got this sense that he isn't his father. It's like some babysitter.
Yeah.
That just
But to
has
be
watch
fair,
this
he's
kid.
better than most fathers during that time period.
Why? Because he was there
Yeah.
Because he was hanging out with his son.
He wasn't smoking
and
cigarettes.
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't beating him or.
And what I
You know what
making
I'm
him work.
saying? The standards are a lot
what
lower.
I think is interesting about that conversation is you get the play of the dad saying, when I'm successful, because they're right across the street from the Arconia, which is where his appointment is. And then, so when they're there,
Yeah.
his dad is like, when I'm successful, we're going to live there.
Yeah.
And so later on in life, after Brazos, when Charles is successful, he lives in the
Mm-hmm.
Arconia. So he's almost kind of fulfilling something for his dad. It's a weird
Yeah,
sort of
making his dad proud.
It's a weird thing that he
That's the
he
daddy
calls
issues.
back to, and
Yep.
you get more
Yeah.
you get more chunks of Charles's story in this one.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you do.
And that's what this
And-
story, this episode's story, basic. I mean, you have your detective stuff.
Yeah,
But this is where you really start to unfold the characters and like who they really are, like their past.
this is doing.
Like,
I think this season so far is doing to Charles what last season did for Mabel.
Ah.
You get what I
Okay.
mean? Because you got a lot of Mabel's
Yeah.
past in the last season. I think this one Charles is going to be much more of a foil and a much
So
more.
it's
now-
gonna
of
be
a-
the focus.
Yeah.
Because last
Yep.
season we understood why Mabel was spending time at this apartment, her aunt and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now we know why Steve Martin.
Exactly,
what's his character's-
and that's why
Yeah,
you get like those pieces that tie into the case, like
Yeah.
his father being part of the painting, the fact that Bunny's
Yeah.
last words, which we didn't mention last episode, that Mabel recalls Bunny's last words,
14.
and then she
Was
also
Savage.
remembers Savage, which is the name that's on the
Yeah.
back of the painting.
Right.
So some of that stuff is playing in. So you get the impression that Charles is going to be much more of a focus point in this season than
Yeah.
last season, where it was Mabel who was a focus point.
Oh,
Yeah, and he already, like you were saying, we're unfolding his backstory
Yeah.
a little bit more. We're really figuring out who Charles is.
Yeah.
We got an
Or
origin
where
story.
he comes from, essentially.
Yep.
Why he wants to be an
His
actor.
influences and shit.
Why
yeah.
he wants to live in that building.
Yeah. And right now,
Daddy
we see that
issues.
it's the daddy issues.
Like Martin Short said, like, you need to put your daddy issues
Yeah.
aside for now. Shit, like, get your head in the game. Shit's
Yeah.
real right now. Like,
Yep.
Martin Short freaks out on the elevator guy. Like, shut up, old man.
Don't
You're
touch
not
me,
allowed
man."
in here. Like,
I do love when
stakes
I
are
do love when Martin Short's
No
like,
place in here for you.
or Steve Martin's like, what's that in the corner there? Is that my dad's balls?
Is that a shadow?
What is that? A shadow or is that my dad's balls?
Or I'm like, Martin Short was making fun of he was like, that can't be your father. Like, you look nothing like him.
It's
Your
the hips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Defining the hips. That was good.
Yeah, it was.
That exchange was funny.
Which is a callback.
The exchange, like, and those exchanges
There's-
were funny. It was like the rest of the stuff got kind of
Yeah.
more serious, like especially the flashbacks
Yeah.
and shit like that.
It was.
Yeah.
It took the story serious on the setup.
So who's the new reveal?
So
We got Big Bunny.
yeah, Big Bunny, who is also Leonora Folger, is her full name. She's Bunny's mother. We just talking about,
Yeah.
played by Shirley MacLaine. So she enters. So the big thing is that Bunny's painting is missing, and they're wondering where it is. And Leonora comes in and essentially says, "It wasn't hers. It's mine. Like, I own it."
Right.
And she even pulled out a
she
purchase.
she couldn't
receipt or
find it. She
whatever.
makes Mabel get it out. She
Yeah,
gets a
she
bill.
makes-
Of, she,
Oh, yeah,
gets,
that's
she
funny.
makes Mabel get the bill of sale from her purse.
I like how Mabel's holding her purse like it's like a
Yeah.
like it's got disease or something.
Right.
Just like
Or like it's ancient or
What is
fragile. Or
this?
something. Like it's gonna. I don't know.
yeah,
gross.
just
But,
holds it very
yeah.
like eh.
And then
They're like the old lady's like, I can only, I see better through my peripherals, not my middle vision. I was like, what the fuck?
and Leonora basically comes in like a force of nature, bossing people around, asking for a cocoa.
So much attitude
Cocoa-tini.
from the tenants in this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that whole
what
bit
the
was
hell
kinda
is
funny.
this? It's a
I put
cocotini.
Yeah.
cocoa in it. Oh, it has coconut in
And
it.
then her trying to cut the cheesecake or whatever that was
The
with
cheese.
the knife.
Yeah, she was just trying to cut a slice of
She was
cheese.
trying to cut the
I
cheese
thought that was
as
brilliant.
they were having a conversation about like, oh, maybe she stabbed him. Like, yeah, she stabbed her 70 fucking times. Yeah, right.
I just
And then
there's
she
something
does
about that. The way that she uses.
Yeah, it was really well done. This lady,
Ah.
she's well versed in this field.
I
loved it.
She
It
takes
was just
a
so great.
very immediate interest in the trio. Like
Yeah.
she even stands up and looks them over. It's like, nah, they didn't do it, but they know something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
by
know
sniffing
something.
them out.
They-
What
That's
do you
funny.
know?
Sniffing them
Yeah.
out. That's some detective shit.
Yeah, she literally went.
Yeah. They didn't do it, but they're hiding something.
They know something.
No,
I thought she was
really
like smelling their breath
like-
or something.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what
Neither
was
did I, I
going
don't
on.
know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but when it all comes together, you're like, all right, cool.
I
But
don't
yeah,
do
this
well
character
this late
introduction was
day.
fast, and she took the spotlight and like fit into
As
the story.
fucking
Like
Shirley
really,
MacLaine does. I mean, other than
Yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
Martin and Martin Short,
They needed
she's
somebody.
got the most fucking clout on that set.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
she kind of stole the show there for a second.
She-
as a
and I
lead
think she
character,
did.
like-
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's
I was
and that's-
thoroughly I was captivated with her character and
Yeah.
everything she was
All the
doing
shit
and
you
everything she
find
said
out.
from the moment she walked in.
Oh, one tiny thing that I saw that like I just thought was funny. It's so when after she goes to Charles later she goes to Charles's apartment and is like, "Oh, you were interested in my painting and I'd like to know why. Plus, like you look like someone who would have coconut liqueur because she wants her cocoa
Yeah.
too." So he makes her one, and then we find out that after this whole there's a side bit where they're trying to move the painting from Charles's apartment back into Bunny's and things go awry.
Oh, yeah.
So they end up sticking the painting between two dumpsters. That's when Amy Schumer takes it and puts it in her apartment.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the gist of that whole run. But basically after that is when Martin Short finds out she has it, runs down to Charles's apartment and tells Charles that she has the painting while Leonora is in the apartment.
yeah.
It's right there. Yep.
Leonora then storms up to Amy Schumer's apartment, and when she barges in, if you watch, she's got the cocotini in her hand. It is a fake glass and everything. Like nothing is moving in that cup. When she walks
Right.
and she swings her hand, it is all stationary. Like it looks fake as fuck. And I just thought it was super funny that either I was able to catch that or no one else caught it. I couldn't tell which was more
Yeah.
impressive. But I was like, holy fuck, they didn't
Right.
even notice that.
It's probably for safety reasons.
Oh, I'm sure.
yeah,
But
less of
I
a
just think
mess.
it would have been
She already
funnier
got
if
the
she had been
old
like
man-
sloshing the fucking drink around while she's trying to get to the
Threw it
painting.
behind her. That's my painting. Oh, I like the character.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued, and I want to know if she'll come back and how much more of a.
Oh,
big
she
point-
said her
like,
last
important
line.
thing.
Her last line in the show was, "You'll be looking for me" or something like
Yeah.
that. so-
No, I think she was referring to the
I just-
painting.
So, well, I thought
Either
it would
way.
involve her like finding the authentic. Oh, you know what I mean.
Well,
I get a
guess,
sense
yeah.
that we're not
I feel like
done
I'm,
with her.
I feel like
That's
I'm
all
skipping ahead, so
That's
I stopped
fine.
myself.
We're kind of bouncing around at this point.
We are. So
But we're all caught up thanks to Aaron on Amy Schumer and the new characters.
Well,
so,
there's
yeah.
one other character we didn't talk about last episode that's kind of important this episode. And that's the art curator that Mabel.
talked about her.
Did we talk about her at all? Played by Cara Delevingne?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then we talked about her.
oh yeah, Mabel's new love interest.
I don't
right?
Yep.
know that I care for this.
Oh my goodness, that
I
kiss
said the
was
same
so
thing.
awkward.
It's not the kiss that bothered me. I feel like the
No, it
budding
just-
romance thing is being
Yeah.
forced.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's because
Exactly.
they couldn't get the guy that played Oscar to come back or if they just went a different direction. But I just think it's a very hard turn to all of a sudden have her with this
Yeah.
new person.
It feels like a studio choice to check the box. We need a lesbian relationship
right.
in this show.
It's just a
My
little
issue
forced
is
for
I'm not
me.
a fan of. I'm not a
That's
fan
what I
of
mean.
Cara.
That kiss from them, they didn't. They just it felt awkward. Like they didn't want to do it. The
Well, and it was
actors.
just
They
like a
did it for
weird
the
jump.
money or
She was just like,
something.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Bam. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't think Cara Delevingne is that great an actress either. Like I'm
No,
not
She's
ever
been
like,
fine
I
in
don't
things
know.
I've seen her in.
Yeah,
but
she's not
I
blowing
just-
the doors off anything.
No,
I don't
And
get
this-
why
this
she's so
role,
popular.
She's no Big Bunny.
because she's a model.
Like, whatever. I mean, but yeah, this
Yeah.
wole
But it's fine. I don't know. It's better than Amy Schumer, I guess.
Well, yeah, but anything
character
better.
she's
A dumpster,
playing-
a cat,
Oh,
a
sorry
fucking
to get
tree.
Tim worked up, people. Sorry.
the character she's
A tree with
playing-
no limbs would be more attractive.
I feel like
A toothpick.
Damn it, Tim.
Bonsai.
I feel like the character that Cara Delevingne is playing would have been better served as a comedic role instead of the serious, artsy, sort of weird role that she's taken on. Like, you could still have the love interest and do it a little more cute instead of this really, really weird, heavy, sort of like intense romance.
Can you guys tell me what the whole breaking down this statue I made of you for you?
It's catharsis. So basically, breaking all the things that she's been carrying around.
It's a reset.
Yeah, it's a clean
It's for her.
Yeah.
It's supposed to identify her bullshit that she's been dealing with. Her trying to. She has too much shit pent up inside of her. She's not able to deal with it. So by releasing her aggression on this entity that she's imagining is that stuff, it's supposed to help. Yeah, like you said, reset.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that bit could have been more intensely done.
Dude,
like the actual catharsis of breaking the statue down could have been more intense, and then lightened the romance part. Like, I feel like it could have been flip flopped, and it would have been a better scene.
I had a problem with Selena Gomez's chop in that thing. She was so dainty and so
and
because of the clothes she was wearing,
being so aggressive that she's supposed to be. Yeah. It did not work. No, it did not work for me. I saw
the whole thing was rushed.
It
was forced. It was not natural.
Like I say, if you turn the intensity around, so you have the intensity for her breaking the statue and actually bring a lighthearted mood to her and Cara Delevingne's interaction and make the kiss a little more natural.
I might have shed a tear.
A tear, or at least been okay with the way it's set up.
Get
like
chills.
Yes, at least okay. See, I just don't think any of that was necessary. You should that could have been taken out and it would have continued.
This does not need any love stories. Is really what this is.
No,
like, we don't need a love story in the middle of a murder mystery.
Does not serve the story.
And then explaining why, like about Oscar, like who's making you smile like that? Was it Oscar? Nah, we're just in this point of like, we should just be friends.
That kind of confirms what Aaron was saying.
That's what I'm like, make me think that they just couldn't get that actor back. Like, he had other issues that he couldn't come back for.
But it would have been fine if you didn't need to bring it up. As simple as that.
No, exactly.
We weren't questioning that from the first episode of the season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't necessary. And like Jason keeps saying, it seems like they just kind of shoehorned that in there for checking the boxes or whatever they got to do.
Right.
It was just annoying. And I honestly will say that this was the biggest issue I had with this episode.
It was my
favorite sequence.
My least favorite part of this whole episode, too. It was just like, this is
I could even deal with the Amy Schumer bullshit over that.
At least I could laugh at the Amy Schumer shit. Like,
yeah, this was just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah.
And honestly, I can really say that this was Selena Gomez's acting. In my opinion, she's been doing great.
That's what I don't think she
was. And this was the one that was like
that lends to Jason's theory that she wasn't really in for this scene, but like, whatever.
She was forced to do it.
This is like a writer.
She's doing her job.
Yeah,
she did the best she could. I
also wonder how much of a hand
$20
Steve
is
Martin
$20
had that in there.
Why, as the writer?
Yeah, because I mean, he's one of the creators.
Seems like a network
is he
thing.
Like writer in this, or is he just one of the creators?
It's him and one other guy that write it.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah. It says it's Steve Martin and John Hoffman.
Yeah.
For some
are
reason,
primary
they're creators,
writers,
but they're writers. So I wonder if that's just something that they got forced to put in or something like that. Yeah.
I'm sure that changes per episode, but yeah, it feels like another network thing. Like, calm down, Hulu. You're starting to fucking feel like a Netflix or something. I don't know. It just feels like a suit scene, and it bothers me.
So we had a big reveal. We had a new character who's so far gave us a lot of answers. It kind of left some questions, but she gave us a lot of answers.
A lot of information.
A lot of information.
Oh.
Yep. And it was all like
pertinent.
It was all smooth and like perfect. Yeah. It was just right there.
That's just a nod to how well she acts, is that she was able to deliver it in a way that didn't seem forced. And it was like it flowed properly enough for you to go, okay, I get it. I get it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it felt like an actual conversation.
Yes.
Like it feels like the chemistry that Steve Martin and her had was like, for the characters, I should say, it was literally like genuine curiosity that Steve Martin was like, he's already lived through this question about who his dad was and like accepted everything that's happened. And it's just one of those things where like he just kind of wants to know now. It's not like he's searching or like trying to pull it out of people.
Redefine his life at this point.
No, right there. He just wants
He's
to
ready.
know.
He knows about the surprise party before
Yeah,
he walks
and it
through
was-
the door. And he's like, well, I don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna learn something. Something new is gonna happen.
And
about
that's what that conversation was. It was literally just a subtle. So what about my dad?
It's learning how a
And
magic
she
trick
just-
works
yeah.
once you know that magic isn't real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, it's
Yeah.
the secrets behind how it worked.
Without being discouraged about
You know
the
it's
mystery
not
of
real.
magic.
You're just like,
Yeah,
it's,
you're ready.
It's a fun art, so you just want to know how it works.
Yeah, yep. But I loved it. I love that. That was probably my
great.
favorite thing.
I had
My
one
entire
line.
this
had a
entire
problem.
episode, that was my favorite scene. Was
Yeah?
in the from the introduction, from the door. Her, it was like, oh, you look like a kind
Somebody
of
who had
man who
coconut
has.
liqueur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was great. All the way up to when he sets her off into the car.
Yeah.
Like I loved everything about those two
that,
together.
That whole interaction was great. Jason, you said you had a
and-
problem with the line?
Oh,
One line in that conversation. And I was just kind of curious what you guys thought about it. Women have to disappear to be recognized.
Well, back then,
Like-
no one gave a shit about, women that were like artists.
especially artists.
Yeah. Like, no one
Okay.
gave a shit about Rose
Like-
Cooper until she died, and then all of a sudden her
I
shit's
didn't- I
worth a
didn't
bunch
think
of
about-
money. You know what I mean?
Like look at Frida. Frida's a good
Yeah.
example. That's why they
Well,
brought her
that's-
before, right?
That's
Yep,
why I
probably.
bring it up.
Yep.
I guess the time period, yes, but I think that happens for people in general.
Well,
they
yeah,
need
if
more
you have
after
a
they pass.
mysterious thing that happens to an artist
So
who
I
has a
don't-
little
it
bit
was
of
just-
But back then, I mean, also,
Something.
the idea that women weren't viewed as prominently as men in general. So, like,
Yeah.
a woman had to
Yeah.
disappear under weird circumstances for people to be like, oh, we should really look into that. As opposed to like,
Right.
oh,
They
her
had-
husband probably, or she
they had to
probably
miss
ran
him.
off because she's a crazy woman or whatever. Like,
Right.
back then, like, they didn't,
Okay.
they just assumed women were
I didn't-
crazy.
I didn't think about the time period.
Right, I
so
think
yeah,
that's a big thing.
My bad.
Like, it's,
That's a big factor.
Yeah.
All right.
It was probably what the
50s?
60s.
I think it was like, it
Yeah,
looked like the
that-
50s, to be completely honest. But
That's a world of difference. That world was different.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
my bad. But yeah, it just made me realize like, yeah, no one really they care more after you pass. Like everything's
So-
better when you're dead.
Yeah.
Chesky, check him out.
Hindsight's always 20/20.
So
Yeah.
to talk about it, that was a line that you had a bit of an issue with. Did you have any?
yeah.
Did you have any lines or any scenes that you primarily thought were very pertinent or that hit the note?
Hit the note.
That were just like it was
Uh,
perfect. Like you liked it. You thought everything was great. Like for me, it was that conversation.
It was that
between,
that really took this. They sat down. They made sure you're taking the story serious,
Mm-hmm.
and then here's the upcoming conflicts and questions that are going to be coming forth through this season, and that's the setup. And it was that's
I'm gonna pinpoint it a little closer. For me, it's in that conversation, but it's right when that flashback hits back to Charles sitting on the bench at night, and the cops are pulling his dad out,
yeah.
and he's got
Yep.
blood on his shirt, and he's just wearing his tank top. He's not. He doesn't have the rest of his clothes, like the rest of his like upper clothes on. He has pants on, obviously.
He's in his boxers and his tank top.
Was he in his
yeah,
boxers?
and
I thought he had
socks.
pants on.
Shang,
But and that for me was enough for me to go, okay, now I'm locked in. Like I want
Yeah.
to know what's going on with that. That got my
Yeah.
that got my curiosity raised much higher than it was before.
Yeah,
And
they nailed the setup, the question area, and then the landing of all these these plot points and they fucked with us just like I think I said in the last season. They fucked
And-
with us so well.
Yep.
And they fucked with us even more a little bit
To
towards
keep us captivated.
when they were having a conversation outside when he was getting ready to ship her off, in the car or whatever, and he comes
Yeah.
chasing after her and she's like, "Oh, not now. I don't do well at this time," and
Yeah.
then he's like, "I just have one question about my father or whatever," and then you find out that she knows who Steve Martin is,
Yeah.
and he was kind of shocked. He's like, "Oh, you know who I am? Why didn't you say something? This and that," and then
Well, it's because you.
she reveals that I was also having an affair with your father.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, so having an affair with Rose and you."
Yeah, what did he say?
And-
My dad was playing both sides of the fence
Yeah.
or something? I
Yep.
don't remember.
And
what he said.
he took it very well, but had
Yeah.
just the right of shock to go like, "Oh, okay, interesting." And then when she goes, well, what happened to your father? Oh, you know,
Nothing good.
booze, jail. Yeah, nothing good. Booze, jail.
Nothing
and
good.
died.
Bad things, or it was a bad end, or something like that. Like he says, I think
Yeah,
he says
and then
like
he died
booze,
and-
jail, nothing good.
And,
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah.
but he says he died.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The way he said it to her made it seem like, yes, it was sad. Like it was very.
But it is what it is.
But it is what it is. Yeah. He said it so matter of factly and almost cold shouldered.
And that's how he's dealing with this information from Big Bunny. He's like, he's ready for the surprise. He's like, no matter information that I don't know is going to surprise me, but I'm gonna fucking do my. I'm gonna be able to handle
Well,
it.
and like I
Yeah.
think part of that is
He's ready
his,
for it.
his cavalier way of handling things is I think
Nice.
I like the way I use that word. I think part of that is just his age. Like I think we're discrediting like how
Exactly.
old he
Life
is. So like you
experience.
don't know how
That's true.
long ago his dad died. Like he may have had 30 or 40 years to be like, okay, he's gone.
yeah.
So like
he's
This is
moved
the most
on.
mature we've seen this
exactly.
character.
It's true.
And but he also is able to bring funny to that situation when he comes back in. Like Mabel's like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I just found out that my dad was having an affair with Leonora too." And he's like, "Does that mean Bunny could be my sister?"
Yeah, and he does it like
He does it all cringy,
Yeah.
like, oh my god, am I
Ew.
saying these
Could Bunny
words
be
right
my
now?
sister? Yeah.
And did you notice when
Yeah.
Leonora drives off, at the end when she drives off, he's like he stops and stares down the street like he recognizes something. And I don't know if that's he's watching
I think
the car.
he was just
I couldn't tell if he was
looking at the
watching the car
building.
or if he was like looking at
thought
something
he-
that he recognized because it's down the street instead of across. It's down the street
thought he was-
following the car.
Hmm.
And I was
I
confused
thought he was just
by
staring
that.
off.
I thought he was
I
just
thought he was
looking
being
at
a
the
space
building.
case. I thought
Like,
he was just
he's-
thinking.
Yeah, like I thought he was kind of like it was just a quick nod to go all the information he learned happened right here. You know, like
Yeah,
in
and
this
that's
block.
what I wasn't sure about.
Ooh.
It almost
on the
looked like
street.
he looked like he was getting ready
maybe
to.
he's looking at the bench.
He just looked like he
Maybe.
was looking at
That's what I
something
was
and
thinking.
like recognized or like had something profound hit him. And
Yeah,
that was
maybe
like
he
the
was
closeout because like there's like because I don't think he goes back up to the apartment after that. I think that's the end of the whole episode.
Well, fuck yeah, they'll probably start with
No, he goes back.
answering that question, and then
No, he goes back up.
No,
'cause
because
they
the
have
end of
to
the
deal
episode with
parrot.
Bunny
And
is
he asked
my-
the
the
sister.
parrot.
Yeah.
They walk into Martin
'Cause
Short's.
Martin
going,
Short. Bunny willed Mrs. Gambolini to
I-
Martin Short. He's like,
I
isn't
am-
that funny?
I'm loving that parrot. I am loving that parrot.
I love when he's like,
the name of it, how they. What's
I
that?
love when he's like, oh, maybe I can donate it. And the parent just goes, eat shit.
Yeah. It's like become a
I don't think
character.
that's
like
good to be around children. I
yeah.
know who
Bunny-
did it.
Right.
Bunny is still with us,
Right.
because of that parrot.
That was a funny. I think that's funny. I think that parrot
It's-
situation was
Yeah, the
funny.
parrot
I also
situation is
like
very
the
good.
cat guy.
They're using the
When he's like trying to
I
explain.
thought the cat guy was pretty good. I'm not going to say it here. I'll tell you this.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
him
couldn't
trying to
remember, why
fucking.
does he have a black eye? Did I miss that?
He said that he was playing hide and seek with his cat.
Okay, I caught
and then
that.
he ran
I missed
into
the question then because
the
cupboard
I
or
came in right
something.
when I was like, oh, I was playing hide and seek with my
and
new
then the cat.
my new
died.
cat
Cats, they-
Sevelny.
Yeah.
I
I
heard
think-
seeking kitchen or something.
I think there's
don't
more
know.
to it.
Hide and seek with his new kitten.
Oh,
yeah.
it definitely seemed like a lie.
Oh,
Like
for
I-
sure.
It seemed like it. But
I
here's the
fell down
thing.
stairs.
From what we saw before, it would not surprise me if that's
Right.
exactly
Right.
what happened.
Yeah.
Like he's playing hide and seek with his cat.
Yeah, for
That's how
sure.
pathetic and lonely this
And
guy
this
is.
show will
because he had
probably
his
lead us to
cat in
believe,
his
oh,
freezer.
Yeah, the dead cat, and that's the
Right,
one that
yeah. The dead
Steve
cat was
Martin
in its
breaks the piece
freezer.
off of and
He
puts it
is
in
a
his
cat
pocket.
lady.
He's a cat lady, crazy cat lady.
So yeah, I'm
Uh,
curious to find out his answers
Yeah.
because he definitely his character invited himself to the party on this one. He wanted to be part of the podcast. He was like, I got a capsule episode idea, like, and then they had the funeral or the wake or
memorial, or
memorial
whatever.
scene.
He gives the
Shit,
lowdown about
that-
Nina is the new board
Yeah, that
president.
guy- Oh yeah, if
Yep.
you think Bunny was a bitch, get a load of this one.
Yep.
Wait till you get a load of this one.
He said something
I don't know
about
that.
being
guy-
pregnant with
Oh yeah,
Like
baby.
Hitler or
He
something.
refers to it as
no,
Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Ro-
that's
if
what it is.
Rosemary
Yeah.
was like a hedge
That-
fund manager or something like that.
That
Yep.
couldn't
Who
wait to
wanted
take
to
care
have
of
the
this
devil's
evil
baby.
spawn. Yeah.
Yeah, who wanted to have the devil
So,
movie? I thought that was
I thought that was
exactly
very good. This character, this actor, killed it in this episode. Like,
Yeah.
I'm excited
I
to
thought
see
he
more
was-
of him.
thought he
He's
was a
always been
delight.
great, but he
Also,
seems like
when-
he's going to be more prominent.
At that party, it was kind of fun to watch these three in a room with people who basically don't know.
Attack them.
Yeah, like there's
with
so much
intensity
tension.
and attitude.
There's so much tension in this
So
air.
much attitude.
Yeah,
so much
but
fucking attitude.
It's the way they have to maneuver around it. Like you can literally see the attitude and the
They
tension.
brushed
and
her
the, like,
shoulders
obstacles.
off.
Yeah,
They
it's
weave
like,
in between
The,
it.
the
Yeah,
it's just
security
like,
lady who has all the files, like
no wonder why they all wore sports
Yeah.
coats.
she tells him like, oh yeah, that,
baby,
that
boy,
other
baby.
podcast lady was like was snooping around asking for information. She bought 10
cases
of gut
of
milk. And she's like, what lady? I don't know, white, glasses, nosy, 10 cases of gut milk. And just like which is a callback to last season, obviously, but
Yeah,
because he was drinking the
absolutely.
gut
yeah,
milk.
well, no, he had to buy a bunch to get those files last season.
The
He had to
vials,
buy a bunch
but-
of
Yeah, it
fucking
was-
gut milk.
Every time you saw him, he was drinking the gut milk.
And they got a little tipsy off it, I believe.
Yeah.
And
there's
it's healthy.
There's like 50% alcohol in this.
I love when they show like, oh, good, the murderers are here. What do you want? We brought dip.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what did the sign say?
Also
Did
a
you-
call
I
did you
didn't
read it?
catch what the sign said. It said if you're at this party, something. I didn't catch all the notes.
Also he walks in with the dip and the phone.
Yeah, he's holding the phone
Yeah.
the whole
It's
time
recording.
Yeah. Oh, even Selena later on,
Yeah,
he was like,
makes a little
damn it, I
joke
wasn't
about that.
recording
She's like,
that.
I
And
was.
she was like,
Oh.
I did.
Oh God, am I
Oh
turning
God,
on you?
am I turning into you?
Yeah.
I hope so.
So, I don't know. Yeah, him
Yeah.
always recording. And just like I said in season one, the way he pulls out microphones from like the backseat of the car in the first season. Like, he just always got a microphone like fucking Iron Man and the fucking button to touch to turn into Iron Man. He's got them in everywhere.
Turning everything into microphones, like Tony Stark turns everything into a smartphone.
But yeah, this one he pulled one out when they were talking in front of the painting.
It's kind of, it reminds me of Julian from Trailer Park Boys, who always has a drink in hand.
Drink.
Always, no matter what, he always has a drink in hand. And there's like a scene where he
yeah.
goes, and that part where Martin Short's like, oh shit, I wish I had that recording, is basically the episode where Julian doesn't have a drink in his hand, and everybody stops and goes, "The fuck's the matter
Whoa.
with you?" And he's like, "Oh shit," goes off screen, comes back with a drink.
Don't watch Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah. But I'll
I don't
agree with
either,
Martin
but-
Short on this episode. He said, or no, it was Steve Martin, I think. One of them two.
Obviously.
I think we're
Martin's-
getting a hang of this. It's we're definitely season 2 or something like that. I don't know. It was like a fourth wall fucking type of joke. I like.
Oh yeah. I think I know what you're
fucking
saying.
butcher everything. Aaron needs to save me more often. Sorry. Sorry,
Can't
Pete.
save you if you can't save yourself.
I didn't set him up right. I didn't give him a good.
We
trampoline.
really don't get much of the detective side of things in this because it's
No,
like
this
shifted
is-
from the
no.
murder to like the painting,
hasn't
but now
reached
it's more
their-
of like let's get information,
Yeah, this
and
this
it
is
really
a-
does focus on Charles.
Yeah.
it really does. It's primarily about Charles.
Backstory, getting us ready for
And honestly,
where the direction this season's
I
going.
get the impression even from last episode that I was starting to get the impression that Charles was going to be a bigger focus in this one than
Yeah.
And like I say, I think it's interesting that they're basically doing to Charles this season what they did to Mabel last season, where you just get snippets of their life and you kind of piece together.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll all come together, but you're just getting these
Right.
weird snippets here and there, and like
Yeah. That's funny that you say that because Martin Short, he was told by Selena, she was like, you need to start asking permission before you start telling stories. Like
Yeah.
the way he tells.
Yep.
So it's not his turn for his backstory
Right,
yet.
Nope.
I'm
curious.
Say, Tim?
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we did find something else that was kind of a big important part that we just kind of skipped right over, and they kind of brushed on it, but it was like it's a big deal. We found out that the painting that Amy Schumer had was a fake.
oh yeah,
It was a replica.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
what
because
And-
she announces, "Well, get it out of my
Spoiled
Stings
it.
apartment."
Yeah, that was,
Because
that
you
was
know
funny.
why would that's such a fucking dumb joke.
Yeah. Like she is.
It's a braggadocious joke. You know, it's a
Yeah,
name
I
drop
mean,
joke.
I get what it
Yeah,
was. It was just
it's a very lame joke. Like, oh, okay, that's the end of the show, or bring on in.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she
This
wanted
person.
to bring it back down to the garbage, and really she just should stay in the garbage, and the painting should live up in the Stings apartment.
got him.
All garbage. But yeah, it's a fake, so they got that going on. So
So
I'm
they
guessing
added
they feel safe with the painting in their possession if it's not the authentic thing? Does that free them from being
No, it just added because they
Suspects?
had it. They
because
thought
the
they
original
had the
was
painting.
hanging.
They thought it was
and
original.
The one that was in Charles's apartment, I believe, was the original.
Oh, so somebody switched.
Yeah. So now they
There's
they don't know who
We got a
has the original.
switcheroo at the dumpster site.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe.
so much going on in
and
the
that's what I'm
garbage.
saying.
Take a look at that, but
Dumpster
this was
divers.
this was the very important part because this just added a whole other layer of mystery.
Yeah.
oh,
So like
when they go
we
to
don't know what the fuck's going
when
on.
they're moving the painting, when Mabel and Oliver are moving the painting, and they stop at the dumpsters to try and wait for the air to be clear, and they see that security lady go and just dump a bunch of files. Did you think that that's going to come back at some point?
Yeah, that seems.
yeah.
Okay.
Like
I
an
thought the
obvious
files. I was like,
foreshadow.
oh, those files has got to be.
There's got to be something important
like,
because otherwise I wouldn't have
Yeah.
focused on them for a second.
Yeah.
Like,
But
And the way they didn't really hide around the corner, they just kind of stared.
Yeah.
And like that lady at the dumpster totally would have seen him if she gave a fuck. But her mind was on something
gut
else.
milk.
gut milk. Yep.
But yeah, definitely will.
Yeah, I
think,
remembered
good
that
call.
and I was like,
that's
oh,
coming
that's kind
back.
of peculiar. Like, and they didn't reference it at that point, so I'm like wondering. I'm curious to see when
They
that
don't-
comes up in the next few episodes.
They don't. They seem like they don't
Absolutely.
waste moves in this show and this writing until the fucking the love interest part. I guess feel like that's gonna be wasted. I think that's gonna serve no
It's
purpose.
either
for
that
the
or they're
story.
going to use.
amount to nothing.
It's either that or she's going to be the killer. One of the two.
But then that will be recycling. Oh my god.
But
In the
wouldn't
words
it be the
of
ultimate
Dale-
joke if they fucking did that?
In the words of Dale, Chip and Dale's words of Dale, it's that guy. No,
Right.
it's too obvious.
Ultimate joke house Aaron was that?
You don't think that it wouldn't be the ultimate joke if they just went again? Like
Yeah.
if
That
they
would be-
like
again?
and like we gotta stop falling like and then it just becomes a joke. Like
Yeah.
you fell in love with
But
the
yeah.
killer. You fell in love with the killer. And then it just becomes this
Right.
big circle thing. I mean, and then Oliver obviously becomes a problem because he really can't love anybody but himself. But
Yep. I was just gonna say that because he
Hell
even
yeah.
has a hard time with his own son. So
Right.
Yeah.
his bulldog's the only other one that he seems to show genuine affection for.
yeah,
But
which we don't see, do we?
you see her in
We
the
haven't
first
seen
episode
yet.
because he walks her onto the elevator with.
Oh yeah, but
with
I'm
Amy.
talking about this one. Yeah, that's right. I
Oh.
do
This
remember
episode
now.
you don't see her,
In
but
the
yeah,
first episode. We
the
don't
first
see
episode
it.
when
Okay.
he walks her onto the elevator with Amy Schumer.
I did like the explanation that they gave when they were bringing out they've got the carts. And he's like, "Why'd you grab this one?" He's like, "Oh, I grabbed the broken one, so it didn't seem suspicious." Like it would fucking matter. And he's like, "Well, if it was too good, people might stop and make conversation about it. We don't want that." And like, what? Who the fuck's gonna stop and make conversation? So like his reasoning is just like
Hey,
it was so bizarre.
thoughtful, covering all angles.
Right.
Yeah, but you know,
I know, it's ridiculous.
it was just like,
But that's what I mean. Like, I
yeah.
think it'd be funny. This Cara Delevingne's character, if she, I think it'd be the ultimate joke to make her the killer. To make all this
Maybe
focus.
she kills Amy Schumer in the middle of this season, and then they can play it off real quick, and it's not like the final.
only if it's
killer.
not a prop knife.
That'd be cool.
do you
What?
think that we have
Prop
met
life?
the killer
Uh,
already?
I think it's possible.
yeah, possible. Not
Well,
evident.
of course,
but
it's possible. I want a yes or no.
You know,
No,
I'm
we're-
gonna
we're-
say
We're answering from our safe.
I'm
house.
gonna say no for now because we didn't meet Jan's character from last season until like episode 4. I feel like. So I think
Maybe I don't remember.
Yeah.
I would have to go back and watch.
So I think for the moment I'm gonna say no. But I reserve the right to be
I don't
wrong.
think we see Jan until
What?
she was playing the.
No, she comes on the
what was
she
it
comes on
she
the
was
elevator
playing?
first. No, well, she plays bassoon.
yeah,
She
yeah,
comes on
yeah.
the elevator, and that's when she.
But we hear,
yeah.
we hear the bassoon, right?
Later
and then,
that-
on the elevator
later
that came
that
on,
episode,
and
I
that was the
think.
conversation at Strikes because like, oh, I heard you play in the courtyard. Oh, it was beautiful, or whatever.
Do we-
I think it's actually
Did we
vice
ever-
versa. I think they start the conversation.
Okay,
She's
maybe.
wearing a T-shirt about
I
being
feel
a
like
bassoon
Aaron's right.
player, and he talks to her
Yeah,
about
I
it.
would
And
have
then like
to,
he hears her later, and he starts playing. What does he play? The ukulele back?
The pirate thing.
Oh,
not the ukulele, but
concertina.
yeah,
I
yep,
believe that's what it's called. The concertina.
yeah. It's like the.
I thought it was an accordion.
accordion.
No, an
but it's
accordion
the
has
smaller
keys and
one.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I think
Yeah,
that's just a
yeah.
concertina because you just
Yeah.
you have to like angle your hands to like get it to
Mm-hmm.
fucking do stuff right.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Did we ever get an answer why Bunny was wearing Murder in the Building?
Why she was
merch?
wearing Oscar's fucking
hoodie?
hoodie?
Oscar's
No,
hoodie,
they did
okay.
bring it up.
So maybe
but
Oscar.
I don't
could
think
come
we
back,
got.
but might be too obvious. But
I don't think
know.
we got an answer.
That
might
actually
be
isn't a
something to
bad
consider.
point. It's a little over the plate, but
Or,
Oscar could
what-
be the killer.
Yeah,
We still don't know shit about the guy.
Yeah, I mean, you only have the
No.
little blips.
and they're already trying to. Yeah, they're already trying to throw him away.
Yeah.
To
But I mean, like it could be that like
but-
he's gonna
yeah.
come back at some point, like later on
Yeah.
in the series, and
Nah.
he's the killer.
I
I
cannot
think-
wait. I'm liking all these predictions. I can't wait to be wrong.
I
all
think
right.
it's
'Cause they're gonna
Theodore.
do something.
Theodore.
Theodore Dimas.
The
Oh,
son?
Teddy Demas.
Yep.
Nathan
Teddy.
Lane.
Yep.
Well, he was
Oh,
in,
no,
wasn't he
that'd
in
be
jail
great.
by that point?
Yeah, he got locked up. I thought for crimes.
It's valid. I mean,
Oh, now we're just throwing
just
anything at the wall.
spitballing. It would
All
be
right.
it would be lovely to see Nathan Lane come back. Like I
You're
loved
right.
his character. Like I like
Yeah,
Nathan. Lane.
anytime he's
I
on
love
s-
Nathan Lane as an actor.
And anytime
Yep.
he's on screen, I'm entertained.
I love Steve Martin's murder board.
People
It
who
says,
hate us.
People who hate us.
It's Teddy, his son, Jan, and Uma,
Yeah.
the angry lady with the glasses.
Yup.
This is those
Yep.
four people.
And she
Which
hates
is, like,
everybody. it seems
She
like.
has nothing to do with the podcast or the detective
She just
work at all.
fucking-
But
she's
she
just a
she
bitch.
hates
Fucking hates
them
them.
the most.
Yeah.
She's the most. She's number one.
And I
hateful.
loved the way
Yeah.
Charles, even though he
wrote-
knows he didn't do it, he under
wrote
suspects
me
he's like,
with a-
me.
Yeah.
question mark.
He's
He's
funny.
He's just a nice guy.
He's like, I can't be out of this. Like, I gotta. It's so fucking
So
weird.
in this episode, so far in the season, we're getting a lot.
Yeah.
But in this episode, we had quite the character development from even the first episode.
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I would say primarily it's Charles. We already talked about it, so we don't have to dive into
Mm-hmm.
it. But it's Charles. It's a big character development. We also see that shit that we said we didn't like about Mabel.
Love interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Moving on.
I hope it has a purpose.
I do
That's all
too.
gotta
It's
say.
just
I
such a
hope it does
hard
something.
turn for that character.
It is,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't feel natural, and I agree. But we still haven't gotten anything from Martin Short's, from Oliver. Like there really hasn't been any development. He's
been
just
put on
still
hold.
him.
That
You know,
joke. You need to ask permission before you tell stories. That's them saying this character's on hold.
But I also
Yeah.
wonder if
Fair.
he's the.
And I do like that idea. Like I like that they're playing into that. I
do too.
yeah, exactly.
but I
Just something
think-
about it that seems like, oh, that seems right.
What I think could be interesting is because you always have one of those characters that doesn't need to really grow in any
Yeah.
way, shape, or form. I would think it'd
And
be
I think
interesting
that's
that
him.
he's the character that doesn't need to grow.
I
Like, he's just-
agree.
he's fine.
yeah.
I keep thinking the same thing. We want something more
just
because we
bounces
see everybody
around.
else unfolding or getting deeper. You know, we're diving deeper in these like
Yeah.
Mabel and Charles. But I think what you see is what you get.
Yeah, he's very
and
in a
that's
way,
fine,
shallow.
as long
Yeah,
as-
and absolutely.
everything he does while productive or good or anything like that is also very self-serving, and you know
Yes.
that from him, and like
Yes.
you
And
understand him.
He knows it. He knows it. He doesn't shy
He
away
doesn't
from
hide
it.
who he is.
Yeah.
He's very.
It's like that
he's-
conversation.
He's not proud of it, but he just knows that's who he is, and that's all he can do because he's so old and life experience. There's no going back.
Well,
This
and
is
he's
who I am.
he's a drama.
Take
He's
it
a
or
diva.
leave it.
Yeah.
And at the end
Yeah.
of the day, he's a good guy. But
He
yeah,
is.
he's got
He's
those
just- he's a
issues.
diva.
So if he's gonna bounce around to these important characters and make these scenes and story plots a little funnier or deeper or emotional, because Martin Short can do it all. He's just there to like benefit.
I think he's
all
the
these-
yeah man.
He is
I think he's the yeah
Bobblehead.
man.
While
Yep,
being-
he's just a yeah.
while being a main character,
guy that goes,
he is such a good satellite to everyone else's
Yeah.
story. Like he contributes, but he doesn't take away in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form. He always contributes.
No matter how hard he tries.
Right.
He's a one man solo.
And he's just
system.
like, he's-
or I'm a support system.
Yeah, and he's very self-serving, but like, yeah, I think he's the one that like you're not going to see any like character growth. You may see things that he does like out of
Not-
character.
You may see epiphanies and things
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
not
it's
actual
not going to be
character
it's not going to
change.
be like development or anything like that. He's done.
yeah.
He made a few steps forward with his son in season 1,
Right.
But they were very small steps. And
Yeah.
that's big for him. So I think,
But he's still him.
that's an example of Aram's right.
Yeah.
I think.
And, okay,
and
but-
if they use, I don't know, they
We get that though, that self-serving attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example in this one, this episode was when he was pitching it to Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, this is what I'm thinking. Timothy Chalamet plays me.
I thought that was great.
Somebody else plays Mabel, and Charles is out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thought Amy Schumer should play Mabel, I think.
Yeah, that's what it
No,
was.
she.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
And he says Timothy Chalamet, who's the
Oh,
kid
yeah.
from Dune,
Yeah.
should
Yeah,
play him.
right.
And Charles is just
Yeah.
out.
Is out.
And then
Yeah.
and Amy Schumer retorts with, I think, because he refers to it as a two-hander. Like that there were two characters
He's like,
that
I
you
think
need
it
to
should be a
concentrate.
one-hander.
Yeah, I play Jan.
Oh,
He's like,
Yeah,
oh, the
right,
anti-heroine sort of
that's
run?
when
Yeah, I
everything
get
took a
that.
turn. Like, oh shit, Amy, you crazy.
And then she does that
Yeah.
weird bassoon, like playing
Yeah.
the
He's
bassoon
learning to
horribly.
play the bassoon. And that's, once again, that scene played. That's the only reason why I can accept it, as much as I grinded my teeth.
If Amy Schumer were
accept it.
more the focus of that thing, it would have been a terrible scene. But the fact that Amy
Yeah, it would've
Schumer was not
flopped.
the main focus and it was more about Martin Short and then Steve Martin and Martin Short, those scenes actually played okay.
Look up there. Say hi.
Hi, Wesley.
Hey.
So, yeah. Yep, I agree. So,
Yeah.
well, what do you think, gents? I take it you like this
So-
episode, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't laugh
Was it
out
just
loud
as
funny
good?
like the first one, but I mean, it
Yep.
held so much information, so much like it was compelling.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Well,
compelling.
exactly.
I think this is more compelling
Well
than
written.
any of the episodes that
They're-
we've seen so far, personally.
Masters of their craft when it comes
Yes,
to
right,
storytelling,
yes.
and this is a setup episode, and it felt great.
Because even those
You know,
moments that we didn't like,
yeah, they were
we can
small.
still love it.
yep.
Mhm.
It's
yeah.
That's good.
for sure.
That's just great. So
Mhm.
now, here's the smack
Oh,
myself.
yeah. Fun.
Here's a
Child
Here's here's the question of the night. 1 out of 5 stars. I can't say.
What is that?
2,
Is that
5?
yeah. For
gonna
some
give us
reason,
a
I was
5?
actually paying more attention to Wesley when I put my hand up for some reason.
Are you trying to high five virtual?
I mean, realistically, I'll give it a 4.5.
And I think he said no thanks.
I give it a 4.5 just
Yeah.
because I mean I really didn't care for Amy Schumer's part, and the
Yep.
Cara Delevingne Selena Gomez kiss was just I didn't like
I'm
that.
surprised you didn't go 4, but yeah, I'll go 4.5 as well because everything I've said, the setup, the
I
story.
may not have
it
liked
took
the
it
Amy Schumer
serious.
stuff, but I thought it felt fine because of the way everyone else was able to act. The scene
Yeah.
I did not like was the Selena Gomez kiss, so I
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
okay with one scene being not
Wesley?
my favorite.
What should Daddy give it?
Right.
1 out of 1 or a 5 or a 4 or a 3? A 5?
He said
He doesn't know what he's
bye-bye.
talking about. He's 3. What does he know?
He said goodbye. He's like, I need to
No
go to
bye.
bed.
He's that.
Stop recording.
I give it a 4.
All right.
Just
Oh, that's
solid
that
4.
hate. That's that Amy Schumer hate right there.
No.
I see that head nod.
Not even there. It's not even Amy Schumer. That took away the 0.5. But the straight out 4 is because of that Cara Delevingne and
That's what I'm
the
saying.
love
the
interest.
kiss
That whole
and
shit,
Amy
I just
Schumer,
did
and
not.
Me and Aaron are forgiving.
It's just
Amy Schumer.
ham-fisted.
Yeah.
Is really what it is.
Yeah. And I can, like I said, I can
that's
accept the
dirty
Amy
talk.
Schumer part.
Dirty talk.
I just the ham-fister. Yeah, they really wanna. I just. Yeah.
Let's just push it. It's
No,
shoving it down
hey,
our throat, and yeah, I don't care for
We
it.
might be proven wrong. These fuckers. they
Well, and
know
I
what
hope
they're doing.
so.
Right.
I'm always hoping that.
Maybe it's just the character that's gonna die next.
Like, I really hope that Amy Schumer can prove me wrong and that she's not a piece of shit. So,
Hasn't yet.
But she hasn't done it.
I hope her first death scene goes great.
anyway, that's gonna be a wrap. Unless anybody else got anything else they want to put in.
No.
Go fuck.
All right. Well, that has been episode 2 of season 2 of Only Murders in the Building.
Murders in the building.
So it's on Hulu. Go check it out.
Yeah.
It comes out every Tuesday. And hell yeah, I can't wait to talk about the next one. Let's
Fuck
see
yeah.
what this mystery unfolds next. Let's see who shows up dead this time.
Let's just see who
Too many
shows
people
up.
down.
How
How
many
many-
see the next guest by?
See how many
Yeah.
predictions
Yeah.
I'm wrong about. Either.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Peace out. Play,
All right, y'all.
that's been it. So we will catch you later.
Peace.
Peace out.
Hurt feelings make me laugh.
Say bye bye.